We often think that by getting onto placing all our tasks on a big sheet of paper, or taking our time to organize using fancy sticky notes, or downloading that latest to-do list managing app makes us more productive. Although they might help in one way or another, however, we fail to realize that spending most of our time planning and not doing any work hinders our productivity and energy levels. This is due to the fact that thinking of everything you have to do all at the same time makes us overwhelmed, further leading to procrastination. Your mind basically tries to do anything but the task at hand, which diminishes your productivity levels. In this video, you will be exposed to 5 different tips on being more productive backed up by scientific evidence. Stay tuned. So the first tip on being a more productive person is figuring out your biological prime time. Your biological prime time is the time range of the day where your body is most productive. This time range differs from a person to another depending on their biological makeup. If you know you're an early bird or a night owl, you already have it figured out. For me, it is between the hours of 4 to 7 am and 5 to 7 pm. Chris Bailey wrote about finding his in the Productivity Project, which describes the year he spent experimenting with different productivity strategies. He suggests that finding your most productive time could be crucial to increasing your productivity, because you'll be able to give as much energy and attention as possible to your most important tasks. From my experience, I used to read a sentence 3 times in order to comprehend it, but now that I have shifted my study sessions to suit my biological prime time, I read a sentence and I instantly understand it. If you want further explanation on this concept, I'll leave a link to a video by Thomas Frank, who can help you setting up a system in order to know your biological prime time. The second tip to becoming a more productive person is to work in intervals. In this case, I advise trying out the Pomodoro technique. This technique is basically done through choosing a task to work on, continue to work for 25 uninterrupted minutes, then a short 5-minute break. After 4 repetitions of this sequence, you can take a 15 to 30 minute break. During the 25 minutes, make sure to leave a pen and paper next to you and mark down any distractions that happen that you can deal with later on in the break. Having a pen and paper that you can write your distractions on is really beneficial, as you can start noticing patterns and work on ways to reduce these distractions. Please note that it is not advised to check your phone or social media, as you don't want that 5-minute break to turn into a rest of the semester break. Also, 25 minutes isn't the type of hocus pocus formula that will work. You can try and experiment with different intervals using new apps such as Tomaiti on your desktop or Tide on your smartphone. Another method for working in intervals is creating 30-minute to-do lists. I have been trying this method for the past couple of weeks and it really keeps your mind going with the flow. In this list, I generally focus on one main task and add other tasks like drink a bottle of water or do 30 push-ups in order to stay hydrated and get some of that blood flowing through your body. Try it out and tell me what do you think of it in the comments below. The third tip on being an overall more productive person is to retrain your reward system. Back in the 60s, Stanford researchers led by a social psychologist called Walter Mischel conducted an experiment called the marshmallow test in an effort to study delayed gratification. The test basically involves 4-year-old participants that had the marshmallow placed in front of them and were told that if they resist eating the marshmallow for about 15 minutes, they would receive 2 marshmallows. Some children gobbled up the marshmallow right after the adults left, and others resisted the marshmallow by not even looking at it. In a follow-up study in the late 80s, the scientists discovered that the children who resisted the marshmallow tended to have higher attention spans, developed healthy emotional regulation, and performed better in school than the children who ate the marshmallow right away. But what does this mean for us? If we train ourselves to exercise willpower and resist a small reward, like watching one more episode of our favorite TV show, before finishing a big report, then we will be able to push through our assignments quicker and more effectively, resulting in bigger returns later, like a feeling of accomplishment and maybe watching 2 episodes of that TV show. The fourth tip to be a more productive person is to create a to-not-do list. We often have a lot of distractions and time wasters throughout the day. Pinpointing these distractions helps us figure out different solutions for them. Writing down your 5 biggest time wasters can be beneficial. Instead of spending 2 hours surfing the web, try to limit that in order to fit other tasks into your schedule. You can also create a to-not-do list which consists of tasks you can reward yourself for if you do not do. This can be helpful when quitting bad habits or getting much more work done overall. Some tasks can be do not be late, do not check Reddit until 6 p.m. and so on.
I'm stuck. Does it get easier?
The fifth and final tip on being more productive is to be inconsistent. Consistency has been a hallmark of good working habits since the 1900s. It's drilled into our heads from an early age. Have a dedicated desk, have a dedicated time, eliminate distractions. But what if almost everything we're told about how we learn is wrong? What if being inconsistent can work in our favor? For instance, could something simple as a change in environment make a difference? Could interrupting work on a large project facilitate more inventive thinking? In the mid-70s, a trio of psychologists performed an experiment to answer that. They presented a group of students 44-letter words and were given 2 10-minute study sessions. However, half of them started in the same dimly lighted, cluttered room for both sessions, while the other half started in 2 different rooms, the cluttered one and a neater, brighter one across campus. In the last phase of the experiment, researchers had the students write down as many of the study words as they could in 10 minutes. The difference in the results was striking. The one-room group recalled an average of 16 of the 40 studied words, while the 2-rooms group recalled an average of 24 words. A simple change in the working environment had improved the students' performance by 40%. So the next time you're trying to work, practice, or study, mix it up. Try another room, try another time of the day. Change coffee shops, switch practice chords, read with silence and with music on. Such adjustments to routines further enrich the skills being rehearsed, making you more productive. So let's recap. In this video you learned 5 tips on being more productive. These include figuring out your biological prime time, working in intervals, retraining your reward system, creating to-not-do lists, and being inconsistent. Before you go, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you find value in these videos. And rumor has it, for every new subscriber we get, a new baby dolphin is born. So please subscribe for weekly videos on self-improvement backed up by scientific evidence.